everything I've ever listened to kind of went into this particular record because I'd never made a full-length record before. Actually, there were records I definitely reference in terms of getting sounds for the record. Jimi Hendrix has always been a really big inspiration to me, but in terms of the mix of his records and everything, I did look toward him for that. And again, Elliott Smith, I think Elliott Smith is really this like hub, because right before I made the record, I was just listening to so much of it and really, really got enamored by his records. And at different times in my life, especially when I was preparing for this record, it was definitely my day-to-day, where I just worked jobs in New York City and just song wrote every day. It was a practice in the sense that you're just, the way that you practice anything, you get home and you make time for it and you do it every day. And when you make something your practice, I feel like you improve and kind of ingrain it into your life. I made the record first at home twice, actually. One of them was through an iPad. I was getting some great content for sure because the songs were getting written, but at the same time, I kind of wanted to up my game in terms of just the sounds that I was getting. My guy and I went and just bought some gear and said, all right, I'm just going to make it on my computer and get a preamp and, an interface and some mics. I think in doing that, I was in my apartment by myself and I couldn't record drums or anything at the same time. And that was actually all on acoustic guitar. And so there was definitely a process of understanding that all my songs had to be good when I played them solo, or at least good to me. I had to be happy with them when I played them solo because the way that I had to record them, and I was going to be performing them a lot solo, or at least in my mind, that's how I thought it was going to go. And so it made me kind of, I think, arrange the songs in a particular way, a certain structure to them that lends itself to having to play lead lines and kind of more bass-oriented parts on the guitar, kind of just hold as much sonic space down as you kind of possibly can by yourself. And then also, you think about where your voice is laying out and the registers that you're all occupying. So if you're playing, bass notes down low and you're playing kind of melodies or lead lines up high, then your voice, often my voice kind of sits somewhere in the middle there. I had to be able to just kind of construct the songs so they made sense as an entity with me just playing one guitar and singing with one voice.
Make friends with kitties you can't relate to, and play it cool in the schoolyard so that nobody hates you. It's for your own good, won't have you misunderstood.
The guys that I play with right now, I auditioned to play with me. In making this record, I suppose I wanted to just kind of play with people I'd never played before to just kind of get inspiration, and the kind of goal was to almost cover my own songs because I'd played them so much and recorded them already twice over that I needed a new perspective kind of. So I just got brand new musicians that I didn't know. I auditioned them. This combination that I kind of hit with Chris Morrissey, who's an amazing bass player, and Tim Cool, who plays the drums. It just there was a good chemistry there. And so I asked them to play on the record, and they said they'd like to, and we rehearsed very minimally for kind of like a couple hours the day before the record date. And then they kind of still had charts. For this, it really worked to do it all together. I tracked my vocals live with them and then redid them essentially, but I was in isolation. And then I went back and did the vocal very quickly too. I think that was about an hour for every song. I think in some ways I've created this rule book for myself that it's very specific, and I think it helps me write music a lot because it provides these kind of boundaries for myself all the time, which I enjoy a lot. I like being told, like, I can do this, I can't do this, and I can do this, now make something kind of thing. I feel like I've created my own kind of songwriting Bible or something in my head, and meanwhile, none of it exists and is real. So I'm sure that I will, totally obliterate all of the things that I'm talking about, and none of this really matters.